place, worm. Prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
One of the biggest draws to Dragon Ball FighterZ is the character of Android 21, who is essentially a huge mystery up until you start actually playing the story mode. Now, Android 21 is an Earthling that was converted into an android by Dr. Gero, similar to 18, 17, and 16. Surprisingly, as a human, her son became the model for the design of Android 16. Android 16, being a companion for most of the story, was actually rebuilt specifically for her because of her urge to see her son once again. Over the many years of Dragon Ball Z, as she lay dormant and hidden, the cells of numerous powerful warriors and the intellect of many Earth researchers were added to her by a supercomputer that continuously worked on her after Gero's death, almost exactly like it did with Cell. Through this process, she was giving one of the most powerful cells in existence, which is Majin Buu, which is the reason for her sudden transformation into her new form, and really the drive behind the entire story, because she has this uncontrollable urge to feed that she continuously suppresses, basically splitting her up into two halves, the good half and the bad half. Later in the story, the good half would go around trying to defeat the clones that Dr. Gero had created of the Z Fighters and his enemies, and she was followed along by Android 16, 17, and 18. As you get further into Dragon Ball FighterZ, eventually her and her android team meet up against Cell, who decides to try to take the fight to Android 21, inevitably losing, and at this point becoming a potential meal for the android. 16, trying to keep Android 21's evil side under control, decides to try to stop her from eating Cell and is completely obliterated by her evil half. This triggers an event in Android 21, causing her to split physically 100% between her good side and her evil side. The evil side taking the majority of her power away, while the good side, still being quite powerful, is nowhere near that kind of level. And this split was only brought on by her act of destroying 16, who is the model for her son, and she specifically created to keep her company. Depending which path you take in Dragon Ball FighterZ, there are multiple endings and you have different scenarios that happen to good and bad Android 21. So I'm not going to spoil those here. I would just urge you guys to, if you haven't already, get the video game so you guys can go ahead and play through the story mode, find that stuff out on your own, or watch some of these 4-hour long movies on YouTube, which essentially cut all the cinematic scenes from the video game, and that way it shows you the story in its entirety. So guys, let me know in the comment section below whether you guys love Android 21. Do you guys love her backstory? Do you guys love her background and the direction she goes into the video game? Personally, for me, I think she's one of the most interesting characters they've made in a very, very long time, having more interesting stuff about her than even Jiren, which is the most powerful, one of the most powerful characters in Dragon Ball Super, and that's just mainly because she actually has a backstory, wants, needs, and a tragic history about her, which is really compelling for me in my opinion. But let me know guys in the comment section below. Drop me a like if you haven't already, and subscribe. This is going to be Dragon Ball Black signing off.